This face belongs on the tissue.
What's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. I'm your host, Jabrell Winfrey, sliding through with another installment of Talk Your Talk. I told y'all this ain't just about hip hop, it ain't about sports, it's bigger than that, it's about the community. And today I got a pillar in the community. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
I'm CLAUDE T, DUBOSE, also known as Dr. DUBOSE, the dentist on the east side of Athens.
Glad to have you come through today. I'm gonna just start from the top. Tell us about your upbringing.
Upbringing, I was born in Elbert County, down in Elberton. And brought up.
I hear that. That's what you did your schooling and also?
I did.
Grade school, middle school, to high school?
I did middle school, grade school, and high school in Elberton.
All right, great. So from there then, where did you attend college, or how was your route? Did you go into college right out of high school, or you took a little breather?
I went right into college after high school a long time ago, back in 1978. And I went to Clark College. And now I think it's Clark Atlanta University.
Clark Atlanta University?
Yeah, did 4 years there with a BS in biology. And from there I went on to the next year. I went to Mahara Medical College, School of Dentistry in 1982.
Okay.
And graduated from dental school in 86.
Okay. So when you originally went into college, was your plan to get into dentistry, or you had another plan for yourself?
I knew back in high school that I wanted to be a dentist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you went away to college, like, how was it coming from a small town, going up there to the city with them city boys and stuff like that? Like being a small town kid, how was that transition?
The transition was tough. Being from a small town, I had a lot to learn from streetwise.
Okay.
And a lot to learn book-wise. But we made it.
We made it. We made it. That's good. So let me ask you this: when you was at Clark Atlanta, how was the environment at the time in the city of Atlanta? Because I know that was around the time when the city of Atlanta was really starting to boom. A lot of black people were establishing themselves in the city. How was it that, like I said, coming from a small town, how was it going to Atlanta and seeing how black people were living and carrying themselves in that city around that time?
Yeah, it was definitely an eye-opener when you go to the bank, for example, to actually see black people run the bank, managers, supervisors, and even met some black people that owned a bank.
And this was in the 80s, late 70s, okay.
80s, late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, it was a big transition.
Okay, so when you graduated and you finished all your got your degree for your dentistry or whatever, what was the steps you took in breaking into the practice?
Okay.
And how was it? Also, I want to ask you this: how was it as a black man at that time breaking into the business, to the practice?
It was difficult. I graduated in '86.
Okay.
And I didn't start to practice in my personal office until 1988.
Okay.
So you see there's a 2-year difference in from the time I graduated from school to the time I opened my practice. And that's solely because of finances. I know a young dentist, well, he was young, he's old now, my age. But, you know, you put together a proposal, carry it to the bank, and based on the possibility of making it, banks would, at least for me, I got thumbs down. No, no, no. Every bank that I went to, and I finally got a loan to start my business. But what's funny about that is,
Talk your talk.
my parents had to put their house up as collateral for me to start a practice.
Okay.
And I watched another young dentist, a white dentist actually, goes to the same bank that I went to and walked out with $400,000.
Wow.
To start his practice.
Y'all got the same accolades, same everything.
Same everything.
Same, just different colors, the only difference.
That's it. That's it.
Wow, that's interesting because I wasn't aware of that. So just going in and getting a degree and saying, okay, I'm certified to be a dentist, that's the small start of it. It's way more steps you got to take out to get the practice.
Steps after you're trained to do this. The biggest hurdle, I guess, or the biggest step is taking a state board, which you have to pass, of course, to practice in the state of Georgia. And in dentistry, it's not always a written exam. It's based on how well hands-on things with your hand, which makes it the person that's grading you, it becomes very, very subjective.
Okay, because the criteria isn't written, it's something that they can't, so they can put their own perspective on the criteria.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. So also, let me ask you this: on the road to like going through college and stuff like that, and being focused, or were you always focused on where you wanted to aim, or was you just kind of like going along like through college, like I'm gonna figure my road when I get there?
Yeah, it's what helps me stay focused is that I was married right after high school.
Okay.
Had a child who is a dentist now herself, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Apple fell out the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, being married, being focused, it was just natural.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be a good husband and a good father. So I knew what I had to do to accomplish that.
Okay. So spinning off that, let me ask you this in your personal opinion, and as far as like for a black man trying to establish himself and trying to get on the road to what his path is, how important is finding the right partner?
Very important. It's very important to have the support. It's important to have someone that when you feel like you can't go on, say, kicking you out of bed, go on to this lab, or go on to that meeting, or go on to this class. So I think having the right partner with similar aspirations was very helpful for me.
Good talk. So let me ask you this, I know that I don't remember the year, but I was at Hillsman Middle School. I was in the 6th or 7th grade. They had to be like maybe 91 or 92. You remember speaking at Hillsman Middle School? They was like, we got we got the did Dr. DUBOSE. He gonna come through and speak. I was expecting to see a white man, and I wanted to tell you personally, like that meant a lot to me as an 11, 12-year-old to see when I saw you come in. I wasn't aware there was a black dentist in Athens. Like I said, I'm on this 91, 92. I'm 11, 12 years old, and just your presence and your aura and the way you carried yourself, that meant a lot to me. How does it feel? How does it feel to know that you impacted other people's lives on the road to where you are now?
Well, I don't know exactly how I impacted people's lives, but I'm hearing, I guess because I'm getting old and retirement age, I'm hearing that I touched a lot of young black people, and that's just me, just my makeup, my personality, and my being. I just chose to become a dentist.
Okay, good talk. So also, like being where you are now, like how does it feel to to look back to where you first started it, and when you first started, the person that you were then, how does it feel to be the person that you are now? And also, a personal friend of mine, Ramon Winters, one of your proteges, and I know he got the utmost respect for you. I'm gonna use him for an example because I'm sure he don't mind. How does it feel when you see the progression of a person like that to where when you first met him and took him under your wing to where he is now?
Yeah, that's very rewarding, very satisfying to know that you have a person that has an interest in what you do. And personally, I had to love what I'm doing. And with that love, you can share it with people like Mr. Winters, to make him want something out of life that he loves, and that will be satisfying to his existence.
Good talk. So that kind of so from there that shows that you can still, even though that you're a pillar in the community, and you made a nice life for yourself, but you can still connect with people who started the way you started, and people that are on the road to take the step that you still share that connection with them.
Yes, sir. I tell it everywhere I go, or every opportunity I get. It doesn't matter where you come from, how you were brought up. It matters about staying focused and reaching your goal, or reaching the potential of what you want to do with your life. And like I said, I chose dentistry, but had I chosen auto mechanic, I would still be the same person that I am as a dentist.
Good talk. So I know you told us like you started your practice you started in the early 80s, and this is 2022 now. So that's been a nice run, a nice span. What are some of the differences in the practice, like as far as technology and as far as like different differences that you've seen in the practice over the years and how things have evolved?
It has changed a lot since I finished dental school. It has changed to the point of it's unreal now what dentists can do. When I graduated
30 years ago, you couldn't have envisioned that.
I could not have envisioned things like implants. When I was in school, there was no talk about implants. Things like veneers, the mechanical part of equipment that we use now. It's just all totally different. Which brings in continuing education as a practicing dentist in the state of Georgia. It's required for us to have so many hours of continuing aid, and based on your personal likes and dislikes, you can choose whatever you like, you know, to broaden the education on new equipment and technology.
Yeah, good talk, good talk. So also, being that has your office always been the Athens area? You always been located in Athens?
I worked a year in South Georgia.
Okay.
Peach County, Hawkinsville, Georgia. Is where I worked, and it was a friend of mine that had an office in Hawkinsville, and I worked for him for about a year. And after that, I came to Athens, found a place on the east side of Athens, opened up with a loan. Earlier I said, a white dentist got a loan for $400,000. My original loan was $15,000.
Same credentials, same everything.
Same everything. It's just skin color. So I said that to say that's enough to quit, you know, but it takes the drive inside of
Right. Dedication.
and dedication to move forward.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. How do you feel about the and how have you seen the evolvement of more black men and black women getting into the practice and taking up the practice from when you first started to like when you first started? How many could you count? You probably count on one hand how many other black dentists you knew.
Yes. Fortunately, I went to the dental school that I attended. Harris is one of two schools in the United States that train black professionals.
So at that time, it was only 2 schools in the whole country.
In the country.
Wow.
Yeah. So I came in contact, and I know a lot of black dentists and doctors and professionals, whether it's pharmacy or foot doctor, academia, such as biochemists, physiologists,
kind of set y'all up to like a brotherhood, kind of fraternity type kind of thing. With cause y'all walk the same road, experience the same stuff. Like you could probably talk to them about stuff that you couldn't talk to people in the practice of other codes about, cause they related to the struggle and stuff.
Right.